All right, ladies and gentlemen, good morning. Welcome back to another live session. I'm gonna try and crank up my mic some more here. I'm not sure why, but the volume does go down after I put it up. It's the weirdest thing. Check, check, check. Yeah, it's like maybe it's a little bit better, but it's like it just goes down on its own regardless. But anyhows, there we go. Yeah, welcome back. So after yesterday's disastrous day, I'm coming in and I'm coming in fresh. I'm coming in understanding that today is not yesterday. Yesterday will not be tomorrow. And so I have to trade the market that is in front of me today, right? So there's no space, there's no room for any, you know, overcompensation for yesterday's opportunity and yesterday's move, right? It's whatever is here today. I'll look forward to being reactive, whether it's a strong day, a slower day, something in the middle. We're going to look to be disciplined. We're going to look to trade it to the best of our abilities. The recap that I made yesterday wasn't really a proper recap. It was just, a little bit of frustration. Looking back at it, I probably could have done a better recap technically, right? The technical analysis and actually go over key areas. So something to learn from and build off of as we move forward. So, Big Steve and Dash, are you guys ready for another beautiful day in the markets? How are you guys feeling today, right? JB, how are you feeling? Dan Shark, John, Chris, Ron, how are you guys feeling today? Are you ready for another beautiful day? So there's a couple of stocks I'm watching. SMFL, the first one. There's MSAI, which is an interesting one. Not sold off and is bouncing up. HOOK. And lastly, a cheaper one, DMK. DMK. We got to trade today's market. As I'm seeing the comment there in Discord. But what in the sight of momentum, right? I mean, what an awesome day for stocks. We don't see it every day, but it's always good whenever we do. So ZC, what's up, Trap Trader? Right there, you guys go. There's the list of stocks that I'm watching out here. So hold on, let me grab an ice cold water here. One sec. Okay, there we go. Guys, I don't know, ice cold water at the open hits the spot every time. Can't go wrong. Can't go wrong. So yeah, I'll start off here with SMFL. And so for those of you tuning in on YouTube, let's not forget to hit that thumbs up. Let's set the tone here early. Let's be aggressive with that like button. Be sure to support your favorite YouTuber here, Relentless Trader, for keeping it real, keeping it transparent, always. All right, hit that thumbs up, subscribe, and let's start off with some trend lines here for SMFL. So, high point is at 317. We had the low, the pullback at VWAP down at 229. Looking decent, looking good. Coming down some more here, checking out the daily chart. Let's see. So I have some previous trend lines, which tells me I traded this stock before. If I go like that, right, we'll see them. So I'm going to get rid of those trend lines. They're not going to be as relevant for today. What I do need though is the high point from that particular candle. So I'm going to go back on the daily chart, and if you guys go to 11:30, right, November 30th, high point was at 560, and that was a 28 million share volume day. 560, that high point. In fact, let's see. So it opened up a bit of a red to green, big move into a halt, halted up, pulled back, and then later into the day, huge red to green, high 560. All right, we'll see. From there, it kind of sold off slowly over time. So, when we say the history is repeating itself, sometimes it's literally the same stocks coming again. Other times it'll be a different ticker symbol, different company, similar patterns, right? So SMFL 560 can be a decent target if it happens to be strong. If we do get past 560, I have 759, which was the high point going back to August 9th, right, on the daily chart, August 9th. So this one is looking all right. Let's see what the other ones are looking like. DMK, the cheaper stock, and by the way, SMFL is up 200%, 12 million shares of volume. All right, can't forget to say that. MSAI, okay, MSAI, this is the one that sold off from that big move up at 31. It seems like it was a recent IPO, and from 31, here we are now, right? So again, we're not at the disclaimer yet, but this is just another example as to why investing in day trading is risky. As lucrative as it could be, it's risky. Imagine you bought this thing, on the IPO, or as it seems like that's what it was, and here it is now, down this amount. It's quite insane. So from those lows of 245 yesterday, we bounced up. So pre-market high, and after our high are two levels I'm going to want to keep an eye on here. After our high, we had 840. So this is a huge bounce. I like to put those levels in blue. Today's high is at 863. So we might have some resistance up there. By the way, let me go ahead and turn on my screen recording. One of the things that I'm disappointed with from yesterday is that I did not record my screen after I came back. I recorded the normal morning session. There was a slower session. I think we were reading there's like $300. But throughout all the craziness, I was like, lost. Literally. I guess it's not a good time for jokes, but anyhow, I gotta throw a few in there at least. Okay, so MSAI lows, we pulled back sharply, and we priced in a low at 432. Since then, we've had a V-shaped red to green, and we've been going sideways and now downtrending a little bit. So for this type of stock, it's not the usual, right? It's not, it's not the SMFL where it's fresh news today, it's curling up today after a long period of rest. This one is, hey, volatile move down, we're getting a bit of a bounce. So whilst I don't want to necessarily treat it that differently, I still want to just keep a bit of a guard up that, hey, this might not be as strong as the usual typical stock that we'll get. Just in case the bounce is already priced in the high, and right now it's on the backside of this recent push. Just got to keep an eye out for that. Moving on, HOOK. There's 4 stocks on my watch list. I only have room for 3. So I'm seeing I have trend lines here, so I've definitely traded this one before. A high point of 131 today. The low point here for the pullback, we have a big wick down at 90 cents. Seems like a legit candlestick. Sometimes we'll get these weird wicks, but it seems like a legit candlestick. Let me get rid of these trend lines here. I only want the high point from that day, so I'll go back. The 200 EMA on the daily is showing 79 here on Thinkorswim. $176, high point of October 20th last year. I think that's last year, yeah. 176. I definitely traded it back then too. And back then the 200 EMA was at 227. Now it's at 76 cents. So quite the drop down over time. Yeah, so we'll see what this one does. Can we see that red to green? Can we get back over 110, 120, 130? Is it possible? The last stock, as a 2-minute warning is coming up, is DMK. This one's a little cheaper. Guys, the day before yesterday, I forgot to move my car. And again, the worst thing is being parked right in front of your own house and getting a ticket. Nonsense. Anyhows, DMK. Lows. Around 74 cents. And this one, we have a bit of an ABCD here, potentially. The W seems to be in full effect. High point is at 109. 109 to 110. VWAP at 83 cents. This one, maybe there's something here, right? Maybe. Looking back at the daily chart, we had a high volume candlestick on September 26th with a high point of 150. So that's definitely a decent target if this thing happens to be strong. 150. So that'll wrap it up for our analysis. Heading into the open, I'm looking to be patient. I'm looking to be disciplined. I'll be watching SMFL first, and we'll see how things go. I'll start off with small size, then look to increase size gradually throughout the day if we get to see the strong stock. So remember our disclaimer. Remember that day trading has its risks. It has its pros and its cons, right? It's not just all, wonderful and well. There are, tragedies, right? There are tragedies. So understand that the risk is real. If you're new and you're not consistent, even if you've been around and you're not consistent, utilize the simulators, utilize this, risk money, a small amount of cash as you go through your learning curve. That way you can ensure that you mitigate and manage risk well. All right. Other than that, remember the live streams and recaps are never an invitation to copy trade. And lastly, I do not invest money for my subscribers. So be careful of any fake accounts and impersonating accounts pretending to be me. I will never message you first, and I will never ask for money or personal information. So nice move here so far, but it seems very volatile. High of 85 and a low of 55. I'll throw out a small position here to see if we get a bounce. If not, tight stops. Let's size up a bit. It seems strong here to start. My fills are not good though. Seems to be having a hard time break of 3. high pre-market is at 317.
MULN MDWT BLIU.
All right. Let me continue here. 14. I'll be out of there a little too soon. You gotta be quick to get the good fills within the range here. It's pushing up. Highs at 25. We haven't really pulled back yet. There's 30. Will we see a pullback or will we get a new high first? I gotta give some of these trades a couple more seconds to get that better exit. I'm noticing here early. There's a bid coming in, so I'm gonna jump in. Let's see if it does come back up. Tight stops. Whenever the price just jumps up like that, somebody's buying, right? Somebody has to be buying. So there's a couple cents. Eight. I'm just a little disappointed with the fill so far. Felt like we've done much better than our gains are showing there. Here's 06. It would be nice to see it break down below 1, but so far it's holding up fairly high. 301, that is, right? But it's holding up high. The 1 minute candle to make the new high is going to absolutely rip. Price fluctuating a bit. A bit of a false breakout here. The dip is going to work, but let's see how far it curls back up. Because we were seeing this yesterday. It's a high fill. Where the stocks would kind of get right back up to the highs. $29, so it's basically back at the highs, right? It's that 10 cents difference. There's a seller up there though, and we're gonna buy up those shares. I think the bulls are being aggressive, but we still have to be careful. I think people are being aggressive. There's 20. It held 20 right there. There's a good fill. There's a good trade. Gotta get the good fills on this stock, man. There seems like there's good buying here, but it's not really pushing up though. Maybe some hidden orders.
DUNEU.
It's definitely not, the kind of aggression and smoothness that we saw yesterday, that's for sure. but it's giving opportunities. There's some big dips, there's some decent breakouts, right? The last 1 minute candle making the new high went all the way to 40. So we'll see how well it consolidates and then if it gives another uptrend. I'm going to be a little defensive here and then I'll increase size again if we can start seeing a new high of day. So it'll come down to just 1,000 shares. Take a few trades here and there. Guys, don't forget to hit that thumbs up if you're watching on YouTube. Also consider subscribing to the channel. We got a high of 20. Oh, it's coming down a bit. I was watching 06 right there. We're holding the whole dollar here for now. Decent bounce, 94. Wasn't super aggressive there, but it's going to hold. So from 94, we're back to 07, 08. The low of the moves at 85. The new 5-minute candle will be here in 1 minute and 15 seconds. Our current 5-minute candle is looking like trouble. It's looking fairly weak. I wouldn't be surprised if we get a retest of the lows. But we'll see how it does. Maybe it holds up right here around 95, $3, and then we get back to 20 over time. So it's holding right there at 91 area. Not bad. The other one, MSAI, seems to be doing well. Close to a halt up. There it is. It might get locked in. That could be a good resumption trade. Yeah, I'm not interested in buying this dip here. Some aggressive traders might take it, and maybe it does hold, right? There's a 40,000 bid there, 90. But for me, when the 5-minute candle is looking like this, I prefer not to. But if it comes down more, I'd be interested. Like it needs to be like extended to the downside. PRZO from yesterday has been mentioned. I can check it out. It does not look bad if we can get over the pre-market highs. Check, check. So MSAI halted up. I got a decent fill, 83. There's a couple cents. I might size here if this is good. Let's see. Oh no, not good. Thought we might have seen that aggressive red to green there, but not quite. Good attempt. I think this pullback is good. It just depends on how low it goes. I'm gonna watch the resumption after this.
DUNEU.
What's the high of the current candle? $3. The resumption will be at 44. It's 41. So you have 3 minutes. 3 minutes for that. How to take some size on this trade next time. Let's see if it gives a good pullback again. Time 28. Is this it? That might have been good. Try again higher, which I don't love, but about a minute to the resumption. What is it? 44.39. I'm gonna be active here. It might come down some more before pushing. It's possible, but I'll watch here. The tape is so, it's like all over the place here. There's like good buying, but then there's like good selling. It's like back to back to back to back. Can I see the push over 90? That resumption is coming up in about a minute. I got 1,500 shares. I'll take it off screen. It's at 661. Showing $7. Here we go. Oh, no resumption. Is it 10 minutes? 44.39. So it looks like 10 minutes. Okay, coming back to SMFL. I still think we can see the break back over $3 here. So I'm being active for now until I have a reason not to. I still think the break back over 3 is highly likely. So I'm going to keep like taking small trades and see if I can get something here over time. We're seeing resistance at 88 area. Can we break through? Taking that dip at 60. Can I see 75 out of this? 80? There's 78. Not watching. I'm gonna add back. Can we see a bigger push here? KB, where are those bulls, KB? This might be it. I'll add back again if it gets through 88 here. Do not fail me now. Alright, all out for now. Get back in at 88 if it gets going. It's kind of losing steam. We should have already been at like $3. 49. I'll keep watching, but 49.39 for the resumption on the other stock. Let's pull it up. I think this one might be finished. It's not holding up like it should. MSAI. MSAI. Ladies and gentlemen, if you're watching on YouTube, Twitch, or Facebook, be sure to hit that thumbs up and consider subscribing to the channel. Hit that thumbs up. I just messed with the audio there again, so I apologize if it's messing up for anybody, if it's too loud. So I'm watching for a dip and rip here. It seems like it's going to open at $7.20 or $7, somewhere there. It's at 660, so that'll be a pretty high resumption. Can we open up higher, push a little bit, dip, and then rip for a retest of highs and new highs? If that happens and it presents an entry, I'll be in, and hopefully we can see a sweet trade. I'll have another order entry window at size.
NYO.
There's room to 840 here for a pre-market high if this happens to be super strong. No fear, no hesitation. Six seconds and counting. We're at 661. What's it going to be? Showing 750. Nice. Can we get a dip? It's not really dipping. Oh my gosh. Well, that order is going to cost me big time. That order entry window popping up like that. If it dips more, I'll take it here. Let's say below 50. It's showing $9 halt. I mean, that was a crazy move, right? Not blaze me. Okay, I'm gonna size up. Continuation. Again. Again. Big Steve, what's going on, man? You know, yesterday on that big move, this was happening to me too. Break of 9. Perhaps. Dip, dip, dip for me. Can we get a dip? There it is. I got filled on the ask. That would have been a monster trade. I'm going to take a loss there. I got 1030 for the halt up. Should have bought the bids. Good attempt though. Good attempt. We had 933 for a dip. And got filled at 970 in the spread. It's gonna get locked in. That was incredible. So we've pushed over the pre-market high, and yesterday's high in after hours were $31. Are we going to go to $31? Probably not. But maybe 10, maybe 11. I don't know. We'll see. You know, yesterday I was telling Steve that the difference of me making 10,000 yesterday and ending the day up $300 in that stock is me staying calm and not getting frustrated. It's so it's so interesting that something so small can cost you so much in this field. But you know, I'm coming in, and a day like today, I'm gonna keep my focused. You know, if trading wasn't so hard, I would say that it's embarrassing a day like yesterday, but you know, we understand how difficult it is, so it's part of the deal. It's part of the deal. I do have to protect the gains here, so I'm not going to be super aggressive. SMFL has sold off. Unfortunately, it was a decent run. We're halted at 1029. Right now, I'm seeing a couple different levels, including 11. Here, I'll show you guys quickly the other screen that I'm looking at, which is this screen here. I'm seeing 1070 on the ask right here flashing. I'm looking at the prices on the ask over here. It's showing 11. Maybe we get an $11 resumption. Maybe. But this number does fluctuate. And there we go, 1047. Let me switch back. So right now I'm recording this screen up here, and I post it for the students to see. Yesterday, unfortunately, I did not record though, I will say. We do have, luckily though, Marcelo and Tim's recording to watch back. And Tim was up 14K yesterday.
NYO.
Incredible. So resumption time is at 55:35. If I use full size and I have a bad loss, I'll be back to flat. So I'm going to use 1800 shares. If I have a bad loss, I'll probably give back like 1,000, which is better than me going from this amount to flat. So I'm going to manage risk in that aspect to not lose too much. Well, 56, you know, resumption at 56:35. So we got about a minute and a half. Waiting patiently. Guys, don't forget, if you're watching on YouTube, to hit that thumbs up. If you're a new viewer, consider subscribing to the channel. I trade live every weekday morning around 9:15 a.m. We keep it real here. All the big green, all the big red. We don't hide anything. We show it all. I'm a hyper scalper. As you guys will see, I'm taking hundreds of trades here, in and out, a million different times, trying to get a couple cents over and over. So cutting the chatter. We got about 15 seconds. It's showing 1029. I'm seeing 1060 here for potential resumption, but we'll see. I'm looking for the same trade again. Here we go. Wow, can we get a dip? It's not bouncing. Oh, I took losses there. Interesting. Thought I had winning trades, so I had high fills is what I had. Had some brutal fills there. It was pretty volatile though, I will say. Fluctuating a little too quickly there for an entry for me. It looks like it'll get halted up again, which is at 73. Yes, it will. I couldn't get a decent entry, so I just had to wait. It might give a massive drop here. I'll be patient. Only 50. I'm in 66. Not quite bouncing. All it is. What's it gonna be? I'm gonna wait. I feel like the drop can be huge. It'll be hard to predict here. There's 18. Lower, I think. Lower. Lower. Uh, of course. And so there's the risk of trading. There's a hidden buyer at 11, but it's gonna break down to 1050. So 1050 for the lows. Waiting. Mm-mm-mm. Well, I retested the lows here. Well, I'll take my $300 and ease off. That is brutal. It's off the charts, literally. Good trades too. Low is at 1030. The halt up's at 1444. So we gave back profits with small size. It's how risky this stock is, how volatile it is. About 12 for the low right there. We do have a red candle on the 5, so we have to watch out for this potentially coming back down again. So far, it seems like it's holding though. Might too soon. 42. Ooh, that's a high fill. I wasn't too soon, but it's the spreads are huge here. We got to be careful. We don't want to get like red on this. Spread up. Spreads. It wasn't ready yet because we should have went through 13 there. There's a lot of red. We might get a retest. Maybe not. No retest of the lows. It's a losing trade. Wow. So I'm definitely getting some really high fills. I don't have time to check my fills in this type of stock here. The high of the last is at 41. The candle is going to close in about a minute and some change. I'm hoping we see a bit of a bottoming wick towards the end of the candle. If not, it maybe does retest the lows. Waiting. It's the trickiest thing down there. It's the trickiest trade, the trickiest trade to take. Let's see if it holds up and it continues here. How's that a flat trade, brother? Come on. I'm not getting fortunate fills, which is okay, but you know, if we were, it would have been our legendary day already. Spread up. Spreads. Buying the bid is kind of tricky because of, you know, how fast it's moving as well. Oh, it's a big level here. Somebody has to be buying that because how did that not break? I have no idea. So can the 1 minute candle make the new high over 91 right here? And then can we see 1250? KB, KB, KB. Oh, come on. KB. The Bulls are sleeping. So I should have took my 15 cents. That's going to be a big loss. And it's a retest of the lows, which I was not expecting at 1050. So low right there was 73.
ATAK.
I think it's still bullish, but it's having some trouble. Quite the stock, this one. It is a little disappointing, though, to give back that type of profits with small size. So we went from 2,500 on the higher side down to 18, down to 13. Maybe I should have dropped down to like 5. But again, the trades that I took, we took some losses, but most of the trades, I'd say like 70% of the trades were great trades. Poor fills definitely kind of messed us up. Let's see what this does. Interesting area here. Needs to be immediate. It might come down here. What? Bro, what was that? Where did I get filled? All right, hold on. I gotta check this one. All right, okay. We'll take our green and get out of here. 16. Jeez Louise. All right, it did come up kind of quick. Ah, okay. Our green, $300. Goodness sake. Well, there's day trading for you. After up 3,000, we're green 300. It's just unbelievable. See, the difference yesterday is that I was so enraged at everything that like it, I mean it's really crazy to think that that could happen, you know? Like it wasn't bad to the point where I would like do something silly, like silly, but the amount of like frustration after a regular loss of like 10 cents, 15 cents, 30 cents, the move up, it's just like madness. Versus you're centered, you trade well, you take like natural losses. It's like part of the deal, you know? IVVD hitting the scans. Let's see if there's anything there. PR's yield did not. I PR's yield did not come up. Volume here's could be better. It's coming up, but we'll check back. Yeah, you're bound to get some sort of bad fills. especially with size. So on the first resumption, I already knew like, all right, I have a cushion, but if I try to push it with the size, that's kind of what it becomes, like one bad fill with that type of volatility. And with 2,500 shares, you lose 80 cents. You're kind of back to flat. So ATAK, the volume here is very light though. Let me see how the level 2 is looking. I think MSAI maybe curls up later, but for now, I'm not interested. ATAK, the volume here is like super low. I think I'll leave this one alone. How's 5 minute looking? We're getting a VWAP bounce.
ATAK.
It's a good sign. I'm thinking like right now, how do I want to manage as I'm going throughout the day? I can say, hey, I'm done here, take the $300 and leave. I can definitely do that. EJH, right? Or I can like size down, wait around, see if something else comes. And if it's good, then we can capitalize again. It's interesting that I mean that's how it goes though. That's how it goes. I think MSAI might be worth watching here. Low of the last at 05 and highs at 34. There could be something here for the 1 minute candle. Spreads are still spready. Of course, we'd want to see this get back to 1079 though eventually if it gets over 30, 40, 50. And then the 5 minute candle make a new high. A couple of years ago on these type of stocks, I'd be using 200 shares instead. That's how much more confident we've gotten over the years. So I can take 3,000 shares now on a stock like this and not really, you know, like be worried. So back in the days, at best I'd probably go up like, at best case scenario like 1K. So it's like you can control that risk there, like in terms of how much you can lose if you use smaller size. This thing is maybe retesting VWAP level here.
ATAKU.
Sometimes you got to be careful though when it comes to the strategy and conviction, right? The strategy is a strategy, and you still have to respect the strategy despite you thinking something should happen, and that can some point at some point even mean confirmation. So I took one trade. That's one thing I see that I can adjust there. I took that one trade around 50. I'm in 59. We're about 88 on the ask. The bids are maybe at like 70, and that was a breakout trade. But I wanted to see if it was going to go over 12, so I held it longer. What I was supposed to do was take the gains and look to get back in the moment it continued to push. That's what the strategy is. So those small areas like that you got to kind of watch out for. And we ended up taking like a 70-cent loss there, which is like very unfortunate. ATAK again, I'm not really interested in this one, but it's coming up. I think actually no, I think it's 10 minutes. 7:15. I'm not really paying attention to it. And MSAI is breaking down the lows at VWAP, so maybe it's fair, definitely on the backside. Maybe there could be a surprise move later into the day, but I will not, probably not be around. I don't know. Sometimes that happens, other times they'll sell off, maybe gradually or aggressively. It's really rare that we see them just sideways throughout the rest of the day. It happens, but not too often. SMFL consolidating and going sideways. Resumption is coming up soon. Coming up soon. Yeah, HOOK. People are mentioning this one. Break of one. Pushing up a little bit. What's the float on this stock though? Seems like it has a high float. Or did we have this one on the list? Can't remember. Actually, yeah, we did. Pre-market highs coming up, which is at 107. $105. I don't know. This one, the range seems a little limited. Good bounce for MSAI so far. We'll see if it continues to climb. How's the 5 minute looking? Not really looking so great yet. If I might trade this one, but I'll have like 500 shares. And I need to see the setup to the T. If not, I'm not even going to bother. Whoa, halting up, 11.16 for MSAI. Halt. Just that it was not looking that great yet. I'd like to see the halt up, but it doesn't seem like it's going to happen here. Wow. New halt levels at 1160. There's the resumption for the other one.
BYTSU.
No break of 8.
ATAKU.
Maybe it breaks eventually. Small loss, $40 there. Oh, there's the break. 840. I don't want to be watching both. It's not going to do me any good. I have to choose one. There might be a hidden order ATAK there. 60? Maybe not. Okay, 50-30 is coming down. We might have had some lows here for MSAI. Gotta be careful with the stock at this point. We could see more resistance on the way up. Not bad. No break. No break. It might go eventually, but tricky to time here. But did we held up 60s, 50s area there? It breaks in good fashion.
ATAK.
Could have been more aggressive there to get back in. Bit of a false breakout. Hmm. Oh my god, I didn't even realize it dropped to 10, 13. Jeez. It's a low of 10. The spread might have been massive there. It's pretty quick. The good news is that it's back up here, so maybe we can get more consolidation and then another test of the highs. C4, back in business. How are we doing? Take a quick look. Daily chart, not so good. First daily candle making a new high though, but nothing special here yet. If there's like a surprise headline, that could be good, but I'm not too fussy for that one. MSAI over 11 just now though, nice move. I mean, and it took a while because there was a chance to buy between 11 and like 11.08 if you're watching for that break of 15. I was not super aggressive to get back in there. But the real entry though was like at 66, 65, maybe even 30 that first time. I got 20, 30 cent spreads here, it's tightening up a bit. I don't know about this area here for MSAI.
BYTSU.
If we get back to 70, I think it'll be interesting, but down here a little tricky. Easing off of any entries here. Guys, be sure to hit that thumbs up if you're watching on YouTube. Hit that thumbs up. ATAK 34.24 for that resumption. It's blazing in here. Jeez. What a day. What a day, ladies and gentlemen. What a day. What a day. Will ATAK give a bounce? I think so. I'll use small size here. What's the height? 846 for 715. No bounce really. Maybe it resumes lower. I'll watch. It'll be a high risk trade as usual, so I'll have small size. We got about 3 minutes. 3 minutes. I'm gonna look to lock it in, take the small gains, and then come back later if there's something. And I'll start off at small size if I do come back. But the first wave of momentum, I believe, might be finished here. Sometimes there's a second wave, other times even a third wave. I'll be around though. I'll be keeping an eye on the chat. I'll be keeping an eye on the scans. And if something good starts to move, maybe at like 11:30 or 1 p.m., we can come back in, small size, try to connect, and then size up gradually If not, we'll end the day here. Take what we have and smile. Come back again tomorrow. I got 1 minute and some change. SMFL, yeah, maybe round two on that one. If we can get back over like $3. 5-day was at 350. VWAP right here at 260. This maybe could be the beginning of something, or could be the beginning of it getting shorted at the VWAP. We'll see over time. Less than a minute to the resumption. Showing 663. This is going to be a high risk trade, but I'll be aggressive on it because I believe a bounce should be likely here. Question is, will it bounce immediately or will it dip and then bounce? That's what we have to try and decipher on the resumption here in the next 14 seconds. ATAK. No fear, no hesitation. Here we go. 4 seconds. 15. It's nothing happening. Over 6 minimum. Nothing happening again. Okay, that'll do it for me. Really and truly, it's only supposed to be one attempt. Took 2 extra, which means I was playing with fire. Leaving that one alone and switching over to SMFL. Seems to be pushing through VWAP here nicely. The spreads are kind of big. So I think, again, the small size just to get into a rhythm here, and then you can increase size over time. Just got to get in tune with the stock again. High of the current candle is 95. We got some sellers up here. Oh, well, to the depths, 57. Thanks to that small size there. It's not too bad. It's a big drop. So are we giving back the entire move, or is it just a bit of a bigger pullback here? How's the bounce going to hold up? So from 57, we're at 66. About a 10-cent bounce. It's definitely looking like a false breakout of the VWAP right now. To have this type of extension over the level and still kind of see that weakness, not great. So right here, this kind of throws me off a little bit. I think I want to give it more time to see, like, can we hold up this area? Right now, I'm a little too uncertain to be buying anywhere here. When I log off the live stream, the stock starts squeezing. Do I take one for the team here? Whenever I log off, I'm still here though, most of the times, right? I'll usually take like a 5-minute break though, before I really like come back. At least 5 or 10 minutes. Just to kind of, you know, relax the mind a little bit and then right back into it. If something is moving though, I'll just keep trading. But for those of you who are in MMU, after the live stream, we're gonna review this. We're gonna review the archive. We're gonna do a review, and then we'll upload it, so we can go back and see all the trades, see what we could have done differently, and then check out some of those fills. The volume on ATAK was lighter than I thought it would be. It still hasn't bounced, so there's still a chance it bounces somewhere, but
ATAK.
I'm not interested. You know, we went from 840 to 593 without a green candle. So more than likely there's going to be a bounce at some point. This is a 30% drop. Maybe right here we bounce up a nice 60-70 cents. But I don't know. I think I'll leave it alone. How about LQDA from yesterday? The volume though. The volume, not so great. We're getting the daily candle making the new high. Did I trade this yesterday? Actually, I don't think I did. So I'm glad to see SMFL back over 70. That's a good sign. So good to see this one back over VWAP. We'll see if it retests those highs of 3 over time. Our 5-minute candle ended up getting bought up nicely, which is a good sign. Time to grab my chair. Time to sit back and relax. Where would we be without some adversity? Right? You need some adversity from time to time to remind you to not take what you're doing here for granted. Even with your best trading, you can still lose. That's the market. There's a 50-cent bounce, or at least a bounce in a spread for ATAK. I might take a position for SMFL here. Where was my last entry? 73. Jeez Louise. If there's someone named Louise, I apologize. There's probably someone named Louise. He probably gets frustrated hearing that. C4 still hitting the Momo scans here. We didn't dip down enough, but it's holding here. The stock has potential. This thing has potential. 85 right there. You know, that's what I'd like to see. Not bad. There's a bid. There's a seller as well. So which way are we gonna go? And it seems like it's down. So scratch straight there. There's some small sellers at 80, 30,000 size. Well, 39,000 size actually. But you know, for a $2 stock, 45 million shares of volume. They're a good size, but they're not anything to be, you know, going crazy about. There are some days where you'll see like a 200,000 share buyer or seller, and you know, well, okay, that's a real big position. It's like most people in our Discord could take 30,000 size, so you know, it's like it's not really huge size, like in the grand scheme of things. Me personally, if I take 30,000 shares here, it'll be giant size. My biggest position has been 40,000, I think, but on a stock at like 76, what was that, like 60 cents?
88K.
60 cents. The next time I see that type of moment, that was sympathy momentum. The next time I see that, I'm doing 100,000 size for sure. Because that, I mean, it was just smooth, man. It was smooth. Doesn't get any better than that. You got to be willing to take the risk though. If something happens surprisingly, you know, out of nowhere. So there we go. We broke the seller. Can we see that test of three over time here? The fills are slow. 90. Come on. That looked good. I'm gonna keep waiting here. Let me just prep, get everything in place. So once the real move starts, we're good to go. So we had a high right there of 15. So one,
88K.
Kind of moving a little weird. So I gotta be careful. I think it'll move well if it gets to where it needs to be. But for now, it's definitely a little choppy on the price action here. On the level 2 in time and sales. We had a quick dip there, now we're pushing up. Jeez, there's a big bid too. Can we get a dip or is it gonna keep going? That's why I prepped the order because I know it can go. We got a that was a bit of a surprise push. Hype days at 50. A lot of people bought shares up there, so I, I don't know. I think it should hold. It's no guarantee though. I'll take a position here, and I'm gonna add if it goes lower, smaller size, and then just watch for a bounce. If not, I'll stop out. Tight stop, small loss. Do not. Oh, well, to the depths. To the depths. Small loss. A low of 3. It's pretty low. But that might have been the bottom, I hope. Might have been the bottom. It's a little lower than I would have expected, but time. The candle only has 15 seconds. We kind of need to bounce. If not, the candle's going to end with this bigger wick. Short sellers might be more aggressive. So, okay. So it's late. This buy up here is going to come very late. But better late than never, right? So they say. So my entry at 11 eventually got chopped out. The volume is high here. It could go. Watching and waiting. Sweet, sweet dip. Retested lows. Come on. Really? Really? I'm a little disappointed that we pulled back that much. I'm in it 3 out of 3, back in it like 95. It wasn't really a great trade. I got out at 95. Wow. I thought I got it like I got out at like 3, but okay. I guess this is all right, but it's like just encountering that bit of a 5 minute pullback before the new high of day, which is all right. Sometimes I'd like to see it after the new high of day. We pull back into the previous high, but this is all right. I think we're gonna get a chance to get some shares here.
ATAK.
Waiting patiently. Think I'm gonna get a chance to get some shares, but it's bounced up so quickly. So waiting patiently. We had a high right there, 15, a low of 3. We could be getting higher lows already. Yeah, that was too aggressive. And it's gonna dip all the way back down. Or to try though, that volume was high on that seller. That seller. So it definitely needs more time. That was like a bluff. That's what you call a bluff right there. False breakout. It's interesting because initially I have my guard up. I'm expecting there to be a drop first before anything, but then the way how the green's coming in at 23, 24, I'm like, okay, maybe it just goes right here and tries. But then there's some selling. So low, come on, 301. The name of this company is Smart for Life. Smart for Life. I wonder what services or products they offer. Will we see a retest of the lows first? Will we retest that level of 25.30? What is it going to be? Put on these blue light glasses. Maybe not. Let's see. I have on a very loud fan. Hopefully it's not messing with the mic. Oh, 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 whoa, 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 whoa. Well, ladies and gentlemen, to the depths it goes. And I thought that was looking good for some shares too. Small size of 500 to add. 85. Target to the depths. Well, it looks like we have no choice but to ease off. Time to take off the blue light glasses and maybe shut her down. To the depths it goes. Well, I think this might have been the biggest green to red day I've ever had. Let's upload the trader view and check the data here. Red, oh my goodness. Oh, I had bigger size than I thought. Jeez, that was a mistake. I thought I had 500 shares in there. That's my fault there. Well, but that's all right though. It happens. Small oversight. The loss would have been inevitable. inevitable. We have to import for, we missed the 19th, so we got to import for the 19th onwards. This is gonna be our biggest green to red day, up maybe 3.2. I don't know. We'll check the archive here. And this is very controlled trading, reduced size, all that stuff. So it lets you know that day trading is risky business. Let's go back to the 19th. Export to file, save, import, choose file. Let's get that recent save. Probably have to delete some of these. The list is getting so long. Single screen. But trader view sometimes doesn't really show like the actual high. It's more so like, I think it's like according to time. I don't know how they track it. It's like unless you end the day at a certain amount and you leave for a while, sometimes it doesn't quite show exactly where you were. So we'll check the live stream. But a bit of a mistake there at the end, using the wrong size. So it looks like it's maybe bigger than I thought. Let's check the. I'm not gonna show like a ton of the trades because we're gonna study that, but let's check the recording videos. So for anybody who's new, who's watching on, maybe this is your first day and you're considering that, maybe day trading is something you want to get into. This is part of the deal, part of the contract, and something that you must expect is that we make and lose a lot of money. Yesterday I made $8,000 and lost like 7,000. One of my worst days in a long time in terms of the amount of gain that I retain. And yesterday, unlike today, which is like very cool, calm, collected, yesterday I was here like punching the air, like yelling at my screen, stuff that I do not do, or let's say haven't done in like a long, long time. Let's see. So we're at I think 3.3 right here, and then the resumption trade to the depths. Let's check out this trade. So I tried to go with 1800 for smaller size. Let's see. High, hold on. High is at 1029. 1029. It's gonna resume significantly higher, I think. Yes, yes, it does. So I'll study that up. The students will study that up here for a bit of like end of stream recap. But yeah, I think this is gonna be the single biggest green to red day I've ever had. Mentally, I feel great, but obviously, of course, it sucks to make this amount of money and lose it so quickly. But it's a part of the deal. Despite sizing down, we still had losses. And so there are some days that are so volatile that even with small size, you can get chopped up pretty badly. So it's something to expect and also accept. Because if you don't accept it, then it's easier to get frustrated or to feel FOMO or to get tilted, however you want to say it. So Upwards and onwards. Upwards and onwards. For me personally, if I like fixate on a particular day, it's not going to be good for me. It's how I can show up today and feel good and trade. If not, then we kind of stay in a vicious cycle, which will only lead to like a worse result, right? If you're frustrated and you're trading, let's say I was today, instead of being down 800, it's probably likely maybe would have been down like 3,000, right? Instead, I probably would not have even been able to get as green as I did, because I would have been, you know, I'd have been milliseconds behind from that frustration. Missing key indicators and analysis would have been off just from not paying attention and just thinking about the wrong things, right? Like yesterday was so bad that like I was here thinking like why can't this stock just end and the day finish so I can have a fresh start to the day? That's the worst thing you can be thinking when a stock is going to the moon, it's pretty terrible. So mindset is important. You have to stay sharp, regardless of the circumstance or the situation. You have to be ready. The great traders are doing it, right? The great traders are doing it. So there's no reason why any of us here in the relentless trading community should not. If humble trader is there trading through the adversity, she took a big loss, but she's still focused. Why shouldn't we be? You know, that's the thing. So you got to motivate yourself, and you have to do everything that's necessary to ensure success. So study up, review, watch over things, go over the charting, see where you could have improved, and from there, you can get your better result. For me, I think there's two things. That one area where I held that breakout trade a little longer, felt a little too comfortable with the 20-cent cushion that I had. That quickly turned into a 70-cent loss. And then just now at the end, my share size not being what I thought it was. But it's kind of interesting because yesterday it's the same level of thing that caused me to get frustrated. So, but it's just it's part of the game, right? You can anything can happen, things can happen. Your internet can go out. You just got to stay focused. So that's the biggest lesson here for the week for us here in the community. All right. So I think it's a good place for me to call it, take this scratch trade loss, and be back tomorrow for another beautiful day in the markets.
MULN.
If things had worked out on the other side of this, like if the day had happened to be like a great day, and like we connected on all those areas, we avoided some of the losses, maybe the stock kept going, then the day is like an extraordinary day. It's 5K, 8K, 12K, maybe more. That's the that's the other side of it when there's like solid follow through and there's an obvious backside. Sometimes the backside is not as obvious and you can overtrade and catch losses. But yeah, for those of you on YouTube, this is where I'm going to stop. I can keep going. I feel fine mentally, but the writing is on the wall. I did have that other area where I was up 300 and I said I could stop here, but at that point I chose to size down and to keep watching. So you'll have the decision to, again, you could go, like, there could be something else, but I don't know. I think that this is a decent place to just ease off. Maybe power hour, but I'll ease off here and come back again tomorrow if anything. So stay safe, stay green. If you're going all the way to 4 p.m., continue to be disciplined, continue to be diligent, and keep watching for those patterns and setups that you know and love. It's been your favorite YouTuber, Relentless Trader. So hit that thumbs up as you're heading out. Remember, subscribe to the channel if you're new, because we'll be live again tomorrow. Some people describe what we do here as watching ESPN. As the chime is going, you never know what's going to happen. There's some crazy stocks. There's some hot momentum. So stay tuned. We'll be back tomorrow, and we'll be going. Uh, we'll be going until we can't go anymore. So see you guys soon, bright and early. Take care, stay safe, stay green.